Okay, what are we going to be talking about today? We're not going to be talking about atoms and spin and things of that nature. What we're going to be discussing today, of course, is the evolution of man. Took some anthropology while I was taking some other courses at University of Texas, so I got very interested in man. And also worked up in Alaska, where I was AST in the National Guard and head of the last of the scout battalions of the United States Army. Just happened to be they were National Guard people, Eskimos. Inuits is their term. Our term, Eskimos, of course. Dog eaters is what they were called. But that's, of course, what the Tlinkits and other Indians called them. And as I worked in Alaska and took anthropology courses later on, I noticed a number of things that I thought was very interesting in trying to tie human evolution and culture together and understand a little bit more about man. One of the things that I came to a conclusion is that alcohol plays a very important part in the development of man. About the same time alcohol shows up in human evolution, we see some other things showing up that are just phenomenal changes. One of the reasons I also looked at alcohol, because I know that we view a tremendous difference in East and Western cultures, or what we call Middle Eastern cultures, as opposed to Eastern cultures, China. As you come from China and all that, and you come on around and you get to areas of India, Middle East, and then of course the Dardanelles and Turkey, where you break over and enter Western cultures, the Greeks, Europe, and then of course today America. The North Americans, it comes full circle. But what I see about these cultural changes in human evolution is that somewhere back there in the Neanderthaloid period, where Cro-Magnon man was showing up and moving throughout the globe, changing very rapidly. About the time of Neanderthaloid man, and you can look up your dates and everything, we see not only Neanderthaloid man, but early man using tools. And of course, by the Y5 pattern in our teeth, we can see that we relate that pattern to humans, whether they be small monkey-like critters in Africa or in Asia or in Europe. We call this humans. The ability to use tools and the Y5 pattern on our back molar. Okay. What we do see at the time about the Neanderthaloid man, and we haven't come to a conclusion of why Neanderthaloid man popped up and vanished, only in one little spot there, but what we do know is about this time that Cro-Magnon man was coming about. There was a dramatic change in tool usage. Toynbee and other people worked with the tool idea, and what we're working with today, of course, is whether or not tools were the influential thing, or something else, some other magical event that would have changed our brains to go from a creature that would for thousands of years use the same tool, the same approach to making the tool, the same use of the tool, to almost in geological time and human evolution time, in a click, make that big jump to modification and cultural adaptation. And we see this jump at about the same time alcohol shows up. And that's the ability to make, produce, and drink alcohol. And we know that alcohol has a very serious effect. But the effect it has had on our culture could be one of the primary events in evolution of man. We first of all know that alcohol gets rid of diabetes, basically, by killing you. Your diabetics in an alcohol society don't last very long until they find out that they have to stop drinking alcohol. So what we're going to tie some of the major events in human evolution to, and especially cultural and Western culture, is alcohol. Alcoholism, and the way it affects society, and the way it affects our brains. In this manner, we could say for the better. Individually for the worst, as war affects culture. Individually for the worst, societal, tremendous change, tremendous upheaval. And those are the topics we're going to be covering when we talk about anthropology and human development. And we're going to shed some light, like I had talked before, about Darwinianism and this thing about creationism. We're going to try and find a mean road between this and find out why the two camps of philosophy differ and where they come together on, and why both camps are existing today. Like the great religions, my God's better than your God. We're going to look at this and find out some of the fundamentals of understanding of why all of these misunderstandings come about. Okay, we're going to call this section Anthropology. Thank you.